Hello and welcome to our teaching resource video for a week beginning Sunday the 11th of July 2021. Our reading for this week is Matthew chapter 7 verses 13 to 28. Matthew chapter 7 starting at verse 13. Enter by the narrow gate, for the gate is wide and the way is easy that leads to destruction, and those who enter by it are many. For the gate is narrow and the way is hard that leads to life, and those who find it are few. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. You will recognize them by their fruits. Are grapes gathered from thorn bushes, or figs from thistles? So, every healthy tree bears good fruit, but the diseased tree bears bad fruit. A healthy tree cannot bear bad fruit, nor can a diseased tree bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thus you will recognize them by their fruits. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. On that day many will say to me, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and cast out demons in your name, and do many mighty works in your name? And then I will declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness. Everyone then who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, but it did not fall, because it had been founded on the rock. And anyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. And when Jesus finished these sayings, the crowds were astonished at his teaching, for he was teaching them as one who had authority, and not as their scribes. Just a couple of questions for you to think about as you study and meditate on this passage this week. Question 1. What is the wide gate and broad road that Jesus talks about? What is the wide gate and broad road that Jesus talks about? Question 2. What is the narrow gate and hard road that Jesus talks about? What is the narrow gate and hard way that Jesus talks about? Question 3. How can you tell if someone is a false teacher? Question 3. How can you tell if someone is a false teacher? And question 4. What separates the two men in verses 24 through 27? What separates the two men in verses 24 to 27? May God bless you as you study and meditate on his word this week.